In the driest corners of the desert, giants wait in silence. Hundreds of retired Boeing.
But in this graveyard, death is only the first stage of reinvention. Every scar, every rivet line, every weathered panel still holds value.
Some will be harvested for parts, others will be cut apart, and a rare few will be reborn as objects worth $500,000.
Hard to believe this thing ever gets off the ground, isn't it?
Tell me about it. All right, keep moving, it's hot out here.
Before beauty comes extraction. Before luxury comes dismantling.
Each airframe is cataloged, traced, and evaluated by age, alloy, maintenance history, and market potential.
Because not all scrap is equal. Aerospace aluminum is a premium material, engineered for strength, lightness, and longevity.
And on the right aircraft, those qualities are worth more untouched than melted down. This is where aviation waste becomes collectible material.
An empty fuselage is not just a shell. To designers, it is a quarry of rare forms.
A single wide-body aircraft can yield thousands of kilograms of recoverable aluminum, titanium, stainless steel, composite.
But turning those remnants into luxury furniture takes far more than cutting metal loose.
It starts with surgical deconstruction. Every removed fastener is one step closer to releasing a story trapped inside the skin of the aircraft. Panels must come off cleanly, without tearing the metal that luxury clients will later pay to display. Because the value is not only in the alloy, it is in the memory of flight.
And that transformation begins right here, with a dead airplane and a very expensive idea.
The first phase is salvage. Everything removable comes out before cutting begins. Routers fade, airlines disappear, but the hardware remains.
Every subsystem is separated by category: wiring, insulation, aluminum, stainless, usable fittings, hazardous waste.
Under the cosmetic layers, the architecture of the aircraft begins to show itself.
Seat tracks and floor rails are especially prized: straight, strong, lightweight, and unmistakably aerospace. Seat tracks and floor rails are especially prized: straight, strong, lightweight, and unmistakably aerospace.
These will not be melted. They will be machined into table bases, shelving frames, and architectural supports.
In the luxury resale market, original aircraft window geometry can raise the value of a piece dramatically, because provenance sells. Small details create authenticity, the kind buyers notice when they learn their cabinet handle once belonged to a working airliner.
Then come the windows, the most iconic shapes in the aircraft interior.
Luxury fabrication begins with material selection, not decoration.
Not every panel qualifies. Only sections with clean surface history, minimal fatigue damage, and strong visual character move forward.
The larger the fragment, the rarer the final piece.
right, steady now. On 3. 1, 2, 3, lift. Got it, watch your feet. We need to maintain the exact aerodynamic curve here.
Yes, that transition into the bar top is critical for the luxury feel.
Now dismantling becomes selective harvesting.
Heat, distortion, and edge warping must be controlled. Luxury starts with discipline.
Only after salvage comes the spark.
And in a shower of light, a retired airplane begins its final separation from the sky. What leaves the fuselage must now survive a new set of standards: flatness, structure, finish, and design intent. Desert grime, sealant residue, and decades of contamination are stripped away without erasing the metal's identity.
Soon the aircraft is no longer seen as a plane. It becomes a library of shapes. And each label points toward a very different future. The next journey is shorter than the original flight, but far more exclusive. Here, aerospace salvage meets bespoke furniture engineering.
The grain on this aluminum is exquisite, but does it harmonize with the carbon fiber?
I agree. The patina needs to be flawless for the cabin.
A section of fuselage may become a conference table, a wall-mounted cabinet, sculptural desk, or a collector's bar. The challenge is balancing aviation lightness with furniture stability.
Aircraft structures are brilliant in flight, but not always designed for life as furniture.
We need to verify the stress tolerance on this bracket here. If we shift the load path to the main rib, we gain stability.
We need to verify the torque specifications on these forward mounts.
Rotating the schematic now. The tolerances look tight near the bulkhead.
Precision cutting defines the new silhouette, but the visual DNA of the aircraft stays intact.
That note matters. In luxury salvage, what you leave untouched can be more valuable than what you improve.
The old skin is corrected, not erased.
This is tactile work, measured not just by instruments, but by fingertips.
Some marks are flaws. Others are provenance.
Contrast becomes drama. Raw versus refined. Age versus finish. Flight history versus interior elegance.
A good piece does not hide its origin. It frames it.
Window cutouts become display portals, turning cabin geometry into domestic theater.
These are not decorations added later. They are proof.
But once anchored passenger seats can now hold crystal, books, or collector's whiskey.
In workshops like this, the machine's second life becomes intensely personal.
Even refinement has its own discipline: clean air, controlled heat, repeatable finish.
Some elements are reused structurally, bringing real aerospace engineering into the final object. Aircraft-derived structures can deliver extraordinary stiffness with surprisingly low mass, a key reason designers prize them.
Luxury value grows when aerospace material meets bespoke detailing.
This is no longer scrapyard work. This is limited edition fabrication.
Some builders even echo cockpit controls, subtle references that enthusiasts recognize instantly.
To command six figures, recycled metal alone is not enough. Comfort must rise to the same standard.
The best pieces feel impossible. Cold industrial origin, warm residential finish.
And now the question is no longer what this metal was. It is what it will become.
Piece by piece, the aircraft disappears. The object emerges.
One last skin from the sky, ready to become the face of something entirely new. The visible metal may tell a story of age, but the internal structure must meet modern expectations.
Finish direction changes everything: glare, depth, texture, mood.
To survive indoors for decades, aerospace skin needs a new protective life. Some clients want the machine to look reborn. Others want it to look remembered.
Stability matters. High-value collectors do not pay for corrosion.
Documentation elevates an object into provenance.
Now, the piece does not merely resemble aviation, it is traceably aviation.
Sound, movement, and tactile feel all become part of the luxury illusion.
At this point, the object no longer looks like salvage. It looks inevitable. At this point, the object no longer looks like salvage. It looks inevitable.
But beauty alone cannot justify the price. Performance still matters.
The final finish is often hand-applied, because machine precision and human judgment do different jobs.
Edges are softened. Light is controlled. The aircraft stops feeling industrial and starts feeling expensive. Collectors are buying a story, and the story must arrive complete.
The most successful pieces are hybrids. Aviation outside, fine joinery inside.
This level of traceability pushes the object beyond decor and into collectible territory.
And once photographed correctly, scarcity does the rest.
Smaller accessories may sell for thousands. Signature pieces can climb into the hundreds of thousands. And at the very top sits the rarest category of all: museum-grade statement furniture.
The value comes from craftsmanship, but the price comes from uniqueness.
A surviving stripe, a maintenance stencil, a panel number, tiny details can multiply desirability.
People do not just see these pieces, they read them.
Transformation becomes undeniable when the before and after share the same rivet pattern.
This is where recycling stops looking economical and starts looking aspirational.
A machine built for altitude now lives in penthouses, boardrooms, collector garages, and design galleries.
And every one of them started in the same brutal place, the yard.
In high-end recycling, the most valuable outcome is often not raw material recovery. Not everything becomes luxury. The rest returns to the metal economy.
Even in the waste stream, aerospace metal refuses to be ordinary.
What cannot become furniture still becomes feedstock, sorted, separated, and sent back into production.
From graveyard to gallery, The route is shorter than you think and far more profitable.
And that is the paradox of modern recycling. Destruction and refinement sharing the same supply chain.
Some buyers see furniture. Others see recovered aviation history made permanent.
For a moment, the whole process pauses. A dead machine has become someone's masterpiece.
And here, far from the desert, the aircraft begins its third life.
Its value is no longer measured in air miles or cargo loads, but in rarity, craftsmanship, and desire.
This metal crossed oceans before it crossed a living room.
The same reflective skin that once faced clouds now reflects chandeliers.
And still, in the graveyard, the supply remains enormous.
Aviation retirement creates a strange reserve of industrial memory, too valuable to ignore, too iconic to melt without thought.
And every spark asks the same question: scrap metal or future heirloom?
In this business, design begins with what the aircraft leave behind.
The answer depends on vision, not just value by weight.
Because once a material carries narrative, its possibilities expand.
One airplane can fragment into many afterlives, each one more intimate than the original. The premium object is born at the intersection of destruction, engineering, and taste.